So hi, One League Noise podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with,
Rishi from Eternal Boy.
and we're gonna ask some questions today. I'm gonna start. So, what inspired you guys to start the band, and what does the band name mean?
Oh man, so we used to be a band called the Space Pimps, which yes,
That's
we
brilliant.
were.
I love that. I love
It was.
that.
I mean, it's pretty terrible. But when I was younger, things kind of picked up, and we were on this label, and so we decided to keep it. But I mean, ultimately, it doesn't represent us really, or anything at all, for that matter. So we decided in 2017 to kind of which was again a very kind of bold, I guess, thing to do, but to change the brand and change the band name. And the last album that the Space Pimps had was called Eternal Boy. So Eternal Boy is essentially a Latin term. It's called Puer Aeternus, which is essentially Peter Pan complex with like the inability to grow up and kind of this kind of overwhelming sense of nostalgia. So we've been around for a while under the Space Pimps, but Eternal Boy since 2017, and we are the same run-of-the-mill pop punk band that you probably already heard before.
I love Space Pimps. I love that so much. I love Eternal Boy as well, but that caught me completely off guard. Thank you for that. My God. So congratulations on your upcoming album, Bad Days Are Over. How do you feel the response to the announcement so far?
Things have been really good. The album was done long before, quarantine was supposed to come out. We had this big tour with this, we were supposed to be support for this really big band. We had all this stuff happening.
Yeah.
And obviously, everybody's lives got turned upside down. So we've been like really struggling with whether we should have released it or we should wait, so we decided to, even change the album name from what it was to what it is now. To kind of fit the paradigm that everyone's kind of dealing with, which we hope maybe there's light at the end of the tunnel here soon. It's kind of a representation of what everyone's going through, but just trying to stay positive on that particular front.
Yeah,
definitely.
Can you tell us what the old album name was, or are you saving it?
So it was between like 2 or 3. Our previous record was called Awkward Phase, and we were thinking about Young Adult, but we thought Eternal Boy, Young Adult is like the most ridiculous combo because it's essentially a double entendre, like it means the same thing. So, but Bad Days Are Over is much better. It's a lyric to one of our favorite bands from back in the day. They're called Rufio, so it's the chorus to one of their songs, and it is apropos for 2021.
Definitely.
I love that. And the album really caught my attention. I was like, I really enjoyed it when I listened through.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Nice.
So what made you guys choose 30 something as a lead single for this album?
Well, just turned 30. So I guess, it's like, my back hurts and my head hurts and,
aches and pains everywhere.
Yeah, everything hurts. When you hit 30, it's just like everything's great. And then like you wake up and you're just like feel like you get hit by a truck.
Yeah.
But the song is kind of about growing up, but like not forgetting who you are, kind of. And the video kind of is a representation. Like none of us have kids or anything, but like the most purest thing you can do is kind of like show. Like I was shown punk rock from my sister. And like, my sister would like give me CDs, and like my parents didn't know because punk was so, punk.
Yeah.
And so the song's kind of about that, like passing down the things that are important to you to other generations. And, in our particular case, it's music.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, that's so wholesome. I love that.
Kind of cute. I know.
Adorable.
Is there any meaning behind the cover art? You kind of already explained the name, so cover art.
Great question. Yeah, that the album artworks is so it's 9 songs, and every one of it's kind of like a crossbar, and there's 9 items on the album art. So every one of the items like is it's almost like the show Ozark, if you've ever seen it, where in the beginning of every episode of Ozark on Netflix, there's 4 items that they show that in some way, shape, or form are related to something in that episode, which is similar to this. So it's not like blatantly about like each song, but there's something about each one of those items in the songs. Yeah. And we kind of took it from the idea from New Found Glory's self-titled record, where they have a similar kind of thing where they have items on the front that represent certain songs. But we worked with this really great artist in LA. His name's Bailey from Half Heart Media, and he did an unbelievable job of taking the idea and kind of like making it a modern art project type thing.
Yeah. The cover art was very cool. That caught my attention as well. Your
Thank
entire image and everything was just like, oh, okay. They know what they're doing.
Can we just be friends now? I mean,
so can you tell me a little bit about your writing process for this album?
So I do most of the writing, but like you can't be in a band and kind of only write. So like we all write, we all arrange, but we went and recorded it with this guy named Chris Badami from New Jersey, who's done like our favorite bands of all time, like the Starting Line and Early November and a bunch of bands that, like we grew up listening to. So he is an integral part. I've been saying in a lot of these interviews, like he's just like the fourth member of our band. We're 3-piece, but he's kind of like the fourth member in that sense. But the writing process is kind of like what you think in writing. It's kind of like somebody comes on an idea, you bring it to practice, you hash it out, and then but I always write a chorus first. I've never written a song where there was no like the verses came first, or even the music. I just write a chorus and I hum it. And I've like, if something would ever happen to me and somebody found my phone and looked at all of my voice memos, they would think I am the weirdest person ever.
Oh.
It's just written with like weird like ideas. Like I'll be in like a Target and I'll hear like something and I'll be like, well, and like it's like, yeah, it just must be so weird from the outside looking in. But
wait, are you recording these voice memos within the Target? Because then you just look weird doing it within the Target. So like they don't even have to take your phone without knowing. Like they just know you're weird.
That is exactly correct. I've gotten many weird looks at Targets or Taco Bells or other healthier places that I eat. I don't know. That look weird. Like I'm divinely inspired. So like I'll hear a melody in a song and I'll hear it and I'll like hum something like it. So even if they knew like I was in a band and trying to come up with an idea, they'd be like, "You're just stealing this song that you're hearing right now." So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So
yeah. Exactly. Wait, so is there a reason you only start with choruses? Did you start one time with like the first verse and you were like, never again? Or...
The song fell apart.
The song just fell off a bridge. I don't know. I feel like when we were called the Space Pimps, we did a tour with Bowling for Soup. And I'll never forget that Jared from Bowling for Soup said that, essentially you can't really, there have been exceptions to this rule, but he said essentially you can't really write a hit song without a chorus.
Yeah.
And since then, I was really young and I was like 18 or 19 then, and that really stuck with me. So I think that was it. But since then, I think there are great songs that don't have choruses. So I guess I've kind of proven myself wrong on that, or him wrong. So, but that's kind of why we normally start with a chorus.
Okay. Sick.
Do you guys write songs, or have you ever written?
No. Can't.
You laughed at yourself.
No, because just the thought of it. When I was younger, I wanted to be a musician. I'm here now. So I think that says a lot.
Asking the musicians questions.
Exactly.
Before we move on, since you brought up tours, you've got that Less Than Jake poster behind you. Is that a show that you guys played, or was that just like something you went to?
So we have played many times with Less Than Jake, but this particular tour poster is one of the oldest tour posters that I have. I didn't go to this show. Obviously, I would have been like, 2 years old, but I got this on eBay. It was when Blink-182 opened for Less Than Jake on a tour in 1998.
God damn.
Wow.
Called the Race Around Uranus tour. So.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
It's pretty well, but so that's Less Than Jake's one of my favorite bands of all time as well. But didn't play that one. We do in this room though, there's a lot of cool. We've done a lot of cool stuff over the years. It's just really weird looking back too, because being 30 and being in the Space Pimps for years, and then Eternal Boy, I look back and say we have just been, a lot of people don't know us, but we've done a lot of shit, So we've toured all over we've been to China, we've been to Japan touring, we've been to Europe, we've been to the UK, we should go every year. And then I think about, just like all the times, and 30 something has kind of made me do that as well, that song 30 something. So just pretty stoked on the shit that we've done. Wish we were on that tour, but I would have been 2 years old, so that might have been weird.
Yeah.
A little bit illegal as well.
Probably.
Child labor. Yeah, but anyways.
Where are you guys from?
New Jersey.
Virginia.
Where in Jersey are you from?
On the Jersey Shore, like 5 minutes from the beach.
And how about you? Where in Virginia?
Virginia Beach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How nice.
Pretty cool.
So true.
How nice.
So true.
So can you tell me where your headspace was while making this album?
Yeah, I mean, headspace is normally pretty, can I swear on this thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty fucked up, I mean, generally speaking. I think that, like, also when you get older, like, my parents always told me, like, in high school and college, like, you're never going to be friends with the same people that you've been friends, when you're younger. And I was like, fuck you guys.
Yeah. Exactly.
It kind of does. It's weird. Like, people like you've been best friends with, kind of you grow apart, or like they have kids or get married, or you move away. And like, it's just almost impossible in many ways to keep those same relationships. So that was kind of the headspace I was at. There's a few songs that on the record, the title track called Bad Days Are Over is kind of about that. And then kind of falling out of touch with somebody, but then realizing that, like, they went through suicide attempts and they went through mental health stuff, and like, you feel like you weren't there for them. But like, people always say that's just life. And that never really sat well with me, that, somebody who you knew and were close with, and all of a sudden went through all this shit, and like, you weren't there for it. Yeah. So a lot of that was going along with it. The trials and tribulations of kind of growing older, I guess, too, kind of undertones it.
Okay. Wait, so was it the fear of losing touch, or was it the fear of just completely being alone? What
a great question. That's the best question I've had in press week so far. It's some songs are like, I mean, I guess I do have a fear of growing apart, but these songs were about it actually happening.
Okay.
And not ever thinking it ever would, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, are you guys friends with people that you've been friends with since you've been like in high school? And
I'm still in high school.
I was gonna say, or are you still in high school?
Yeah, I have a friend that I've known since maybe I was like 8. All my other friends I kind of lost touch with for a good reason. But the one that I still know, Rose, Shane knows her. Yeah. We still talk every now and then, so that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so weird. Yeah, I mean, it'd be funny to talk to you guys when you're 30 and I'm 1,000. And you guys
oh my God, no.
Tell me how have you stayed friends with Rose or not? I mean, it's kind of a weird thing. I don't know. You think that like your life stays in the same situation, like that moment forever, and then all of a sudden, it's just everything happens. And I always say life took its sweet time till I was like 23, and I have no idea where the last 7 years went at all. No idea.
Yeah,
that's fair.
You have a lot to look forward to.
You're just really hyping up this whole living as an adult thing and turning 30. You're really just hyping it up.
How old are you, Shane?
I just turned 18.
Wow.
So
you are legally an adult.
I am sadly legally an adult now.
So you guys want to are you guys going to go to college? Are you guys going to go into music, like production? What are you going to do?
College is the plan, hoping the podcast takes over the world so I don't have to keep going.
Amen.
I'm not planning on going to college. I'm just trying to build up my baking business alongside the podcast. So
awesome.
Yeah, my business is kind of taking off right now. I'm a little happy about that.
But what do you do?
Oh God, I have like filled cakes. I do like. Oh God, my mind is going like I do cupcakes, I do a bunch of cookies, I do like chocolate covered like strawberries and pretzels, just like a lot of stuff. And sometimes people request like special things, just like, hey, can you do this recipe for me? Because I just don't like baking. And I'm like, sure, I'll give it a shot. And then I just sell it to them.
What's it called?
It's called, was it Just For You?
I think so. I don't know why you're asking me. I just like it on Facebook.
Hey Shane, what's my business again?
I don't fucking know.
I don't think about the name often. I just kind of,
that is super cool. That's very entrepreneurial and like go get it,
Yeah. Both of my parents are business owners, so they kind of helped me build everything up, and my mom runs it with me, so it's just it's nice to have that support, I guess.
Do you do it from home, or do you like have a spot?
Yeah, I'm working towards a spot, but my parents are like, you don't need to get a spot because then that's just extra money you have to pay. So right now it's from home, and I'm able to balance that. So yeah,
that is super cool.
Thank you.
She hasn't passed out yet. She's still here.
Not yet. Not yet.
So
how did you two meet? Like, if you both are living different states.
Take it away, Gloria. This is your story.
So at the time I had a Panic at the Disco Discord server. Shane joined the server in like 2018. We didn't talk till like 2019 when we started the podcast because he was on the staff team. Still, we didn't talk when he was on the staff team, even though I was the owner and he was the moderator. We just never really crossed paths. Don't know how that happened.
It's fine. We're here now.
We're here now. Then we started the podcast with like 8 other people or something, so like 6 or 8 other people, and they fell off, and now it's just us.
Huh.
We're just here now.
Yeah. You guys met in like over Panic at the Disco.
Yeah. And we both don't like Brendan anymore, so.
I was gonna say, you guys don't like Panic anymore?
I mean, I like their music. I don't like Brendan as a person.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
A lot of controversy around Brendan.
A lot of controversy.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's crazy though. See, back in the day when I grew up, that would have been a Blink-182 fan page or something.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know what my first screen name was whenever I had AIM? That's how old I am.
What was it?
Blink Exists 182 at AOL.com.
Were people doubting the existence of Blink?
Well, so Blink has a famous song called Aliens Exist.
Oh, sorry. I'm not a Blink fan. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. So the Exist is a reference to the song, but yeah.
Okay.
All
That's
right.
cool.
A lot of people think like, oh, they didn't exist. It was fake, but it was a song.
I mean, when Glory met me, my name was Microsoft Publisher, and everybody called me God. So like, I don't even think she knew my real name for the longest time. Like, we started the podcast, and my name in the bio was God.
That's funny. Y'all are funny.
Thank you. We try our best. So back to your album for just a second.
I don't want to talk about me.
We just gotta finish this.
Mind.
What band or artist influence do you think you can hear the most on this record, if any?
3-piece pop punk band. Everybody says Blink. I mean, we're a huge Blink fan, but way before you guys probably even were into music, there was a record label out of New Jersey called Drive Through Records. Mm-hmm. Drive Through Records had Newfound Glory. They discovered Newfound Glory. They discovered The Starting Line. They discovered Finch. A band called Steel Train, which eventually became Fun.
Oh,
and then the lead singer Fun is like a huge songwriter now with Taylor Swift and all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Jack Antonoff or whatever. Mm-hmm. So that label is like a huge influence on us. It was essentially the label that defined pop punk music in the mid 2000s, early 2000s, even before we got into it. Mm-hmm. So I think the record's kind of an ode to that record label in many ways. And like, I just did this interview with Alternative Press, and like the first question was, so you guys are trying to bring back Drive Through Records and that sound. And like even at Warped Tour, like in early mid 2000s, like there was a Drive Through Records stage at Warped Tour. So it was like the prevailing record label. I think that when you listen to Bad Days Are Over, that for those that know that label and those bands, you hear a little bit of that. And I think that I'm proud of that. I think that they're not a thing anymore. So maybe younger people it'll kind of push them to maybe look at that direction of where pop punk was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Just having that track record of how many bands they've brought up.
Yeah. Really, I mean, I could go. I mean, they've done it. Even bands you've never heard of that really define the scene. Like there's a band called Alistair, Homegrown. They were bands that really paved the way for, I think, a lot of the state champs, neck deep, Story So Far type bands now.
Yeah.
God damn.
Wow, that's amazing.
You should check them out.
Maybe I will.
I might have to, yeah.
I'll send you a list of the good ones, and you can listen.
All right.
Yeah. You don't want us to waste our times on the.
Exactly. Because there's a lot of shit in there.
There's a lot of stuff to.
A lot of misses.
Yeah. So this one should be super, super fast. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. Tradition,
nostalgia, forward thinking.
I love that. That's great.
Wow, that was this is so much more fun than other shit that I've done.
Well,
you should do that all the time. You should do like first thing comes to mind. Cheese. Like, just say random shit, and see what people come to mind. Or I'll just shut the fuck up and let you
get you dropped.
Like in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling you want listeners to have while going through the record?
I would love if, we're like a summer band in many ways. Like, it's like, I really, really hope, like when growing up for me, like listening to those Drive Through Records bands with my friends with the windows down in the summer. I mean, maybe with masks on during this summer. I don't know.
Who knows?
I just really hope that people can I don't know, like it be the soundtrack to their summer in some way, not the whole thing. We're not gonna, be the soundtrack to the summer, but I just hope that it's something that can like bond friends and over a smoothie in the summer.
Yeah.
Aw.
Well, I just think that like pop punk in general definitely has like that summer vibe. Like that's when I tend to like listen to more pop punk. Is in the summer. It just kind of, it feels right.
Definitely does feel right.
Yeah.
What feels right in the winter?
Metal.
Oh.
Where are you?
More like R&B and
Nice.
sometimes a little pop. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me it's more like Jimmy Eat World and emo.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely emo.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah. All right. So we know this album isn't even out yet. Yeah. But are you guys working on anything new? Like, are you writing?
Yeah, definitely. I think you're always writing. When you're an independent band, it's like, and when you're in quarantine, you're always writing. Something that we need to get better at is releasing more music more frequently. When you're an independent band, like we always want to do it well and do it right and record with the right people.
Yeah.
And we're like completely self-sustainable. So like to generate the funds to do that, it takes more time than we'd like to. But our goal is definitely to like be in the studio like twice a year, have content constantly, as you know, content is king. So we are writing now, but we all just got vaccinated too. So like, we're now like,
Congrats.
we're stoked, I'm alive. So that's good. To all the naysayers, it's just a shock. But yeah, so we're getting together more often. We're doing a live stream, like an album release show live stream. So we've been practicing for that, but it's so weird. Like, I mean, it's like almost like life was on hold and like now you're trying to pick up exactly where you left off. And, your back hurts a little more and, you're probably,
a couple years older now.
Fatter.
Yeah.
But we are trying to write a lot more than we did kind of in the past more frequently.
All right.
Solid.
So where do you see the band in the next 5 years?
I feel like I'm on a job interview. Well, I want a 401k and 4.5 kids. No.
What are your strengths?
4.5.
Do a SWOT analysis on yourself. I think in 5 years, so I run a record label and a music festival too. It's called the 4 Chord Music Festival. So I think that like we released the records under 4 Chord Music. We have had every close call you could possibly think of with every record label you've ever heard of. So we never think anymore in terms of like, oh, we're going to get to Hopeless or we're going to get to Fearless or we're going to get on a major. It's not even in our vocabulary anymore. So in terms of 5 years, I want to, for this new record, we're really pushing hard to chart on Billboard.
Yeah.
We have one right here. That's our last album, Awkward Phase.
Oh yeah.
But I really want to be able to tell my parents I actually did something with music. I'm kidding. They're very supportive, but we want to chart on Billboard in the kind of near future. In 5 years, we just want the most people who can possibly listen to our music to listen to it. So I wish I had a better and more like witty answer. I'm normally really witty, but I just really want people to hear us. I think that we're not like reinventing the wheel by any means, and we don't want to. But I do think that if people give Eternal Boy a chance, that there's something on Bad Days Are Over or any release we've had that they will find something that they can like, kind of connect with. So I just want people to give pop punk a chance. There we go. 5 years from now, give pop punk a chance.
Give pop punk a
Well,
chance.
we're finally starting to head towards that revival again. So
Yeah.
So were you guys into pop punk generally? Is that like who the people you interview mostly? I looked at a lot of the episodes, but I mean, generally, do you personally listen to pop punk a lot?
I listen to pop punk every now and then. I'm trying to find a band that I can really like latch on to, but right now it's just bands that we talk to for pop punk that I listen to.
Nice.
Yeah, I tend not to latch on to pop punk bands as much as I do like metal.
God, yeah.
So, I mean, I listen to a bunch of pop punk, but nothing that really like clicks with me.
Yeah. So like, what kind of metal are you into?
Like the metalcore and new metal, so like Korn, Slipknot, Motionless in White, shit like that.
Like
I've been listening
Korn
to
and Slipknot?
Yes.
That's like my generation's shit.
Yes, I love them so much.
Oh my god, I used to be like I begged my parents when I was like 9 years old to bring me to the Family Values tour. Do you remember?
Holy
You know what that
shit!
is?
What?
Yes.
9?
I mean, I was that was 19. I don't even remember the date. I don't even know what date it is today. So I don't really know.
Did they take you?
No, they didn't.
Okay, good.
I had to beg my mom in 2019 to take me to see Slipknot. She took me. I still can't hear correctly from it. But I saw Slipknot live with my mom.
Sounds super cool.
I was taking her to every single show pre-COVID. Now I'm old enough to drive myself there. At the time, I was not.
That's bringing your mother to a Slipknot show. I mean,
God
rest her soul.
It's a power move, yeah.
Like we had the opening band chanting "Hail Satan" on stage, and I was just hoping that she wasn't paying attention because I didn't tell her about that because I didn't know that was going to happen.
Who was the opening band?
Behemoth was the first one.
God.
Yeah.
Whew. There's a really sick. So we're from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There's a really cool like metal-ish band here called Code Orange.
Yes, I've heard of them. Yes.
Yeah.
They are really nice people. They're very scary to watch on screen. They are the nicest people ever. And they are, I don't love metal, but like I absolutely love Code Orange. They're like, they're super awesome. So if you haven't checked them out or their discography, you certainly
I checked out their most recent album from early last year.
You spoke about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Grammy nominated album.
Yes, that one.
That's
killing
bizarre.
it. Yeah, they're killing it.
Yeah, they are. They're fucking cool. They were on tour with Slipknot too, I think, at one point. Not Fest? I think they were on Not Fest.
Okay.
Oh.
But
wait,
yes.
Is that a festival that they did?
It was like I think they did like one of them in the United States, but then like it was in Japan, they did it in Australia.
Yeah, the tour I saw was like the Not Fest Road Show. They just were too lazy to name it a different tour, so they just named it that. Yeah.
Cool name for it. I mean, like Slipknot curates all the bands from what I hear too, so they pick them all. That's cool. Yeah, metal's a little too angry for me, you know.
Exactly,
but
same.
I like funny, happy-go-lucky, short, furry, and funny stuff. So
exactly,
yeah.
I do like rap and R&B though a lot as well.
Yeah, it's also good. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Solid.
Sweet.
I promise we're done talking about music now.
Speaking of that, for the last couple of questions, we're actually going to shift away from music, if that's okay with you.
Love it.
So we're going to go straight to death row.
Boom.
So, if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
With a drink.
Don't forget.
Okay. The drink would be a freckled lemonade from Red Robin.
Ooh. Oh.
I think my girlfriend loves those.
Legit. And I'm been a vegetarian since birth. How about I've never had meat on purpose in my entire life?
Okay.
So I would do an Impossible Burger.
That shit hits different. I've been vegan since birth, so the Impossible Burger hits different.
Since birth?
Yes.
Your mother and father raised you.
Yes.
That way.
Yes.
I am the only person I've ever met. Now you are the only other person I've ever met that since birth have been a vegetarian.
We're destined to be best friends. Like, dude, this is destiny.
You guys should start a club.
Do you want to hang out?
Of course. I don't have anybody else to hang out with.
That's awesome, dude. I've never met somebody that's been vegan since birth. That's fucking awesome, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was vegan from birth to 12, and then 12 to 14, I was vegetarian.
And now you're here.
Now you're a carnivorous eating person?
Yeah.
So from birth you were too?
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah. No longer though.
I know, it's fine, but still, like, so your parents raised you that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is gnarly. I have never met two other human beings. In 30 years, I've never met any. And now I've met two in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I think Shane's the only one that counts because he's still vegan.
I'm still going.
You did 12, 14 years with no meat.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
If you switch to meat for health reasons, you can just pass. But did you switch because of taste?
My family switched because a lot of, so you know, like how some vegan and vegetarian products have like a lot more sodium because they're just trying to flavor it better.
Yep.
So my family just looked into it and was like, the natural stuff would be better for your body than all the processed stuff, like meat replacements and whatever. So that's why my family switched, because they were like, we might as well just switch back. So
yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's a lot of preservatives in some of the vegetarian stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are the coolest two people. I wish I was like you guys when I was 18.
Thanks.
But podcasting wasn't a thing, so
yeah.
Yeah. Radio show.
That's true.
Exactly.
Much harder to get on the radio, but yeah.
God, I've tried.
So if you could live in one fiction world for a week, where would you live?
Oh my God. Oh, what a question. One fictional world for a week.
1 week.
Man.
Yeah.
Middle Earth.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
And be best friends with Bilbo and company.
So, as you should be.
Hey, somebody just needs to answer their phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the house phone going off, and I'm too lazy to mute the mic.
Come on, Shane. So I have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person we've spoken to has said it is the most important question. What is your favorite color?
Did it look like I was frozen?
Yeah.
Sick.
I was like, shoot. Oh.
My favorite. That would have been a ridiculous timing for it to freeze on the last question.
Yeah, literally.
Right when I'm about to say it. I think my favorite color is chartreuse.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a good color.
The front door of my house is painted chartreuse as fuck. And that's actually the color. When I picked it out, I was like, I want chartreuse as fuck. And they were like, oh, we know exactly what you want.
We got that.
We got the exact color code for that.
Can I ask both of you a final question?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. First of all, celebrity crush. Go.
Oh, shit. I don't know. I don't keep up with the celebrities.
Neither do I.
I'm trying to think.
Rowan Blanchard.
Wow, you guys are good at asking them, but y'all can't.
No, because I don't think about this anymore.
we typically get the questions we ask flip back on us, and we've got answers off the cuff. I guess I would say Rowan Blanchard from she was on that one Disney Channel show.
Oh, yeah, Girl Meets World.
Yeah.
Girl Meets World. See, Boy Meets World was my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was fully convinced I was going to meet her when I went to Disney in 6th grade and had the biggest crush on her. I carried my BlackBerry with me everywhere because I wanted to get her number.
That is so funny because my celebrity crush when I was younger was Topanga. From Boy Meets World, which I guess was their mom.
Yeah, it's their mom in Girl Meets World. Yeah, Rowan.
I swear to God, if I was 18 or you were 30, we'd all be stoked on life to be friends. How about you?
God, I'm just gonna play it safe. No. I'm just gonna say Louis Tomlinson.
I saw that one coming.
Of One Direction. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure it's somebody else, right? Who's my background? It's my dog.
ASAP Rocky.
ASAP Rocky.
Ooh.
ASAP Rocky. There you go. Yeah.
You freaking simp for him on the podcast. You're like, your hand in marriage, sir. Every single time we talk about him.
You should get him on.
We've tried.
I tried. I'm gonna try again. He didn't put anything out. So it was just kind of like a shot in the dark. It's been like a year since like his last album. So I was like, hey, does he want to come on and talk about a year-old album? And they were like, no. And I was like, okay, I'll try again in a year.
Okay, thanks for answering. Bye.
That's how I feel with the big press people. I'm like, okay, thank you for responding.
Dude, I'll tell you, all you got to do is just keep asking.
Yeah. Eventually they'll get tired of it and just say yes.
Sure,
absolutely. 100%. I'm trying to get, so this year, my festival, the headliner is Blink-182, who's my favorite band of all time.
Wow.
So I'm trying to we do like a folklore music festival podcast type thing too. Okay. And I have put in, remember, I'm already paying them to be at the show, right? Yeah. I'm already the hand that feeds, right? Mm-hmm. And they still are so particular about stuff. They just, it's so tough to get them.
You should just get them like when they're coming off stage or going on stage. Like they're already there. Just
sounds like a lot of rules broken though.
And but it's his festival.
Like, it is, but you should see some of the security requirements these bands have. I mean,
it's your festival though.
It is my festival, but the bands actually have. This is a big misconception that like the people that run the festivals have complete control. Yeah. I do have control, but when it comes to the individual band members, you have no control. It's their people, it's their management, it's their PR people that really dictate what they will and won't do.
Mm-hmm.
That's cringe.
Fuck that, but
honestly, God.
Sorry for cursing so much. I feel like I'm back.
No, it's all good.
You're good.
We've had it like so much worse.
I've got a worse mouth than most people we talk to.
Yeah.
I have a really bad mouth, but I feel like I'm like the old elderman here, so I'm trying to not say what I normally would say, which is totally PC, but like not more fucks and more.
All right. Well, thank you for now. This has been Rishi from Eternal Boy and we're the Good Noise podcast.